She prepared to kill him. Then he defended her people with honor. Zara crouched behind the metal debris, her purple eyes fixed on the human soldier, walking through the ruins of her city. The blade in her hand felt cold against her scaled palm. Today she would finally kill one of them. Today she would make the invaders pay for what they had done to her people. The human moved carefully through the broken streets. His name was Jake Collins, though Zara did not know this yet. She only saw another destroyer in military uniform, another enemy who had helped turn her beautiful home into ash and rubble. Her people, the Veltani, had lived on this planet for thousands of years. They were peaceful traders who welcomed visitors from across the galaxy. Their cities had gardens that floated in the air and buildings that sang with the wind. Children played in crystal pools while their parents worked in harmony with nature. Then the Terran Alliance came. The humans said they needed resources. They said the Veltani could keep living here if they shared their mining rights. But lies came as easily as breathing to these creatures. Soon the humans brought more ships, more soldiers, more machines that tore apart the earth. When the Veltani protested, the humans called them terrorists. When they defended their homes, the humans called it war. Now most of her people were dead or scattered across the stars like seeds in a dark wind. Zara had been a teacher before the war. She taught young Veltani about the old stories and the ways of peace. Now she taught herself about death and revenge. She had killed 3 human soldiers already. This one would be the 4th. Jake stopped walking. He seemed to sense danger in the air. His hand moved toward his weapon, but he did not draw it yet. Instead, he called out in the Veltani language, "I know someone is there. I am not here to fight." Zara felt surprised. Most humans never bothered to learn their language. They expected everyone else to speak Terran. She stayed hidden and watched him carefully. "My name is Jake Collins. I am with the 15th Reconnaissance Unit. I have information about your people that you need to hear." This was clearly a trap. Zara had heard human lies before. She prepared to strike when he turned his back. But Jake did something unexpected. He sat down on a piece of broken stone and placed his rifle on the ground beside him. Then he reached into his pack and pulled out something that made Zara's heart stop. It was a small crystal flower, the kind that grew only in the sacred gardens of her people. The kind that had been destroyed in the first bombing runs 2 years ago. How did he have this? Jake held the flower carefully in both hands like it was made of the most precious material in the universe. When he spoke again, his voice was quiet and respectful. "I found this growing in a hidden valley about 50 kilometers north of here. There are others. Dozens of them. Your people are not all gone." Zara felt her grip on the blade loosen slightly. This human knew about the hidden valley. Only a few Veltani elders had known that place existed. If other survivors were there, if children had escaped the destruction, then maybe there was still hope. But it could still be a trap. "Why would you help us?" Zara called out from her hiding place, still speaking in her own language. "Your people want us dead." Jake looked toward the sound of her voice but made no move to pick up his weapon. "Because what my people did here was wrong. Because I have seen what remains of your cities and I know we destroyed something beautiful that can never be replaced." "Words are easy to speak," Zara replied. "Actions show truth." "Then let me show you." Jake stood slowly and walked toward a nearby building that had partially collapsed. Zara could see him clearly now through the gaps in the debris. He was younger than she had expected, maybe 25 Terran years. His brown hair was dusty and his uniform was torn in several places. He stopped at the building and began moving chunks of concrete and twisted metal. After several minutes of digging, he uncovered something that made Zara gasp. It was the body of a Veltani child, carefully wrapped in a Terran military blanket. "I have been finding them," Jake said softly, "the ones who did not make it out. I have been giving them proper burials according to your customs, the singing stones, the flower petals, the words of passing that return the spirit to the eternal sky." Zara felt tears running down her cheeks. No human should know those sacred rituals. The burial rites were taught only to Veltani priests and elders. For an outsider to learn them showed a respect that went deeper than politics or war. "How do you know our ways?" she whispered. Jake knelt beside the small, wrapped form. "An elder named Korvash taught me before he died. He said that understanding each other was the only path to peace. He said that even enemies could choose to honor the dead." Zara knew that name. Korvash had been her grandfather's closest friend. He had been the keeper of the old knowledge, the one who remembered every ritual and every story. If he had trusted this human enough to share sacred knowledge, Then perhaps Zara had been wrong about Jake Collins. Corvash was a good man, she said, stepping out from behind the debris but still holding her weapon ready. If he taught you our ways, then you are not like the other humans. Jake looked at her for the first time. His eyes widened slightly at her appearance. Most humans had never seen a living Velthani before. Her purple skin seemed to shimmer in the afternoon light, and the delicate scales along her arms caught the sun like tiny mirrors. She was beautiful and alien and deadly all at once. There are others like me, Jake said. Humans who believe this war was a mistake. We have been working in secret to help survivors escape the planet. The hidden valley I mentioned, we have been guiding refugees there for months. Why should I trust you? Zara asked, though her voice had lost some of its anger. Before Jake could answer, the sound of approaching vehicles filled the air. Heavy Terran military transports were coming toward them fast. Jake's expression changed immediately from calm to urgent. Hide, he whispered sharply. Those are not my people. Those are the ones who would kill you on sight. But instead of hiding, Zara stepped further into the open. 3 military vehicles came around the corner and stopped when they saw Jake. 6 soldiers jumped out with weapons ready. Their leader was a tall man with cold eyes and lieutenant bars on his collar. Collins, what the hell are you doing out here alone? The lieutenant demanded. Then he saw Zara and his expression turned ugly. Well, looks like we found ourselves a hostile. She is not hostile, Jake said quickly, moving between Zara and the other soldiers. She is a refugee. The war is over in this sector. The war is over when every last one of these things is dead, the lieutenant replied. He raised his rifle and aimed it at Zara. Step aside, Collins. That is an order. Jake did not move. No, sir. I will not let you murder an innocent person. That thing is not a person. It is an alien threat to human security. Now move or I will have you court-martialed for treason. Zara watched in amazement as Jake spread his arms wide, making himself a larger shield between her and the other soldiers. This human was risking his career, maybe his life, to protect her. She had come here planning to kill him, and now he was willing to die for her. If you want to shoot her, Jake said firmly, you will have to go through me first. The other soldiers looked uncomfortable. They had not expected this kind of resistance from one of their own. The lieutenant's face grew red with anger. Collins, you have 10 seconds to step aside before I declare you an enemy combatant. Then I guess I am an enemy combatant, Jake replied without moving. The lieutenant raised his weapon toward Jake. But before he could fire, Zara made her choice. She threw her blade aside and stepped up beside Jake, facing the other soldiers together with him. If you kill him, she said in perfect Terran, you kill the only human who has shown honor in this war. You kill the one who has been saving my people when the rest of you were trying to destroy us. The lieutenant hesitated. The other soldiers lowered their weapons slightly, confused by this turn of events. You speak our language, one of them said in surprise. I speak many languages, Zara replied. I was a teacher before your people decided we were too dangerous to live. Jake Collins has done more to heal the wounds of this war than all your generals combined. She is right, Jake added. I have been documenting war crimes committed by our own forces. I have evidence of illegal weapons testing on civilian populations. I have proof that this entire conflict was started based on false intelligence about Velthani military capabilities. The lieutenant's confidence wavered. If Jake really had that kind of evidence, killing him would create more problems than it solved. Even if that is true, the lieutenant said slowly, I cannot just let an alien terrorist walk away. I am not a terrorist, Zara said calmly. I am a survivor. And thanks to Jake Collins, I am not filled with hatred anymore. He has shown me that not all humans are monsters. Some of them still believe in doing what is right. Jake reached into his pack and pulled out a small recording device. Everything that has happened here today has been recorded and transmitted to my contacts in the Colonial Ethics Committee. If anything happens to either of us, the evidence will be released to every news network in Terran space. The soldiers looked at each other nervously. A scandal of this magnitude could end careers and start investigations that reached all the way to the top of the Alliance command structure. After a long moment, the Luti,